All right, so on this lesson we are solving a system of equations algebraically, which means that we're not dependent upon the graph in order to do it. So even though I said that, that's actually what we are doing in number 1. So we're going to go back and look at the previous method, the one that we did in the last lesson, which is solving by graphing. We're going to do it on the calculator and show you a nifty little trick that will show you the exact point of intersection, even if it is kind of well, not on integer points. It'll still be able to find it for you pretty easily. Okay, and then the actual algebraic method, objective 2, we have 2 of them. We have substitution and elimination, solving a system of equations by either of those methods, whichever is most convenient. So let's look at objective 1. On objective 1, we're just using our graphing calculator to solve a system of linear equations. What we saw before, I mean exactly what you see in this little picture here, you graph each one of the lines and see where they intersect each other. That's the solution. Okay, do you see on that screen where it says intersection? It can find that exact point for you as long as the calculator can see it. Alright, so let's do this on our calculator. You need to have your graphing calculator out. Either your emulator on your computer or you have your own handheld device. Okay, so we're going to type in each one of these equations in y equals form and y equals on our calculator. Let me pull it up there. Okay, so I need to go to y equals, and notice these things are in standard form. You can't put it in standard form. You have to put it in y equals form. So rather than me by hand solving this for y, I'm going to do it in my head, put it into the calculator. Okay, so I would first subtract over the 6. So the 6x is going to be negative. I'm going to start with a set of parentheses. I'm going to put a negative 6x, and then I would have the minus 20. That's at the end there, minus 20. Okay, and now I still have the coefficient of the y. It's negative 9. So I need to divide that to the other side. So after I close the parentheses, hit divided by negative 9. And even though, like, I wouldn't want to graph that thing by hand if it looked like that, calculator has no problem with it whatsoever. So let's hit enter, and let's do the same thing on the second line here. So y2, I would subtract over the 2x, so it's going to be negative. So open up the parentheses, negative 2x, and make sure you're hitting the negative sign and not the subtraction sign, otherwise it's going to give you a syntax error. Okay, minus the 52, that's over there on the right side already, minus 52. Close the parentheses, and I will be dividing it by the coefficient of y, which is 4. So divide by 4, and then maybe hit enter there. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to usually choose a particular zoom setting. Instead of just hitting graph, I want to go to zoom, and I want to scroll down to number 6, which says zoom standard. Zoom standard goes from negative 10 to positive 10 on both x and y axis. Okay, and that's usually a pretty good graph. So let's hit number 6, and let's see. So there's the first line, here's the second one, and we have a problem. If the graphing calculator can't see where the point of intersection is, it won't be able to find it. Because how it finds a point of intersection is it tests every single point, every single pixel that's on the screen. And so if it doesn't see it, it can't find it. So we need to change our window setting here. So let's go to window, and I can see I need to make it further to the left here. I need to change my x minimum. So let's go to window, and let's change it to, say, negative 20. Let's just try that. Let's try negative 20 for the x minimum. Hit graph, and let's see if that's enough to see where the point of intersection is. And it was. It was enough because I can see where they cross each other. Okay. Now, in order to find that point of intersection, let's scroll through this here. So taking you through the steps, we went to zoom standard to go from negative 10 to positive 10. We couldn't see it on the screen, so we had to change our window setting. Just scooted it over to the left, made it negative 20 for the minimum of x. Okay, so now what it says is push second trace to access the calculate menu. Okay, and this is what my final answer is going to look like whenever I solve this system. Protein. Okay, anyway, so let's pull the calculator up again. And that is, again, second trace for the calculate menu. It's in blue. And look at the menu here. I got value, I've got 0, minimum, maximum. I want number 5, which is intersect. I want to see where these two lines intersect. So hit number 5. And now it's going to take us through a couple of questions. First question is, what's the first curve? You might be going, there's no curves on here at all. It's just lines. But mathematically, even a line, we're calling this thing a curve. So the first one, it's highlighted. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to think about it. Just hit enter. You can see that the first one's highlighted with Y1. Just hit enter. What's the second curve? Well, it's highlighted as Y2. That's the other one that we want. Hit enter. And now it's asking you to play this game, a guessing game. So a guessing game is just so that you scroll your cursor closer to where you think the answer is supposed to be to give it a place to start. You don't have to play that game. See, there's the little spider cursor, and it's getting closer and closer and closer. I could start it right there where I think the intersection is, and it might be a little bit faster. But even if you don't do that, if you just hit enter, it'll still end up giving you the point of intersection there. So I would write down this point intersection, even though it's not that great of an answer. That's what it is. It's x is equal to negative 13.05, maybe whenever I round it, and the y is negative 6.48 when I round it. Okay, so there is the point of intersection. Okay, so I didn't get the same answer that this one was. Number 6. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. So there's the xy coordinate. The solution to that point is, or the solution to the system of equations is negative 13.05-ish, comma, negative 6.48-ish. All right. So that's a pretty handy thing to know. Of course, we didn't show you that in the previous lesson because I wanted you to be able to do it by hand, right? Before you learn the technology side. All right, so now I want you to try this one yourself. This will wrap up this video. You solve this system of equations by graphing in your graphing calculator, okay? All right, let's call up this calculator here and take a look. So what I did is I went ahead and typed in each of the equations in y equals, kind of solving it in my head or whatever in the calculator to put it in y equals form. Okay, and then I might choose zoom and go down to number 6, zoom standard, just to take a look, see if that is enough in order to see the point intersection. There's the first line, and here's the second line. Whoa, they almost look parallel to each other. Almost do, but I can see that they have a slight tilt to them, and so they're going to intersect, but they're going to intersect somewhere down here in quadrant 4. So let's try something else. Let's just try. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's go to zoom and choose what is called zoom fit. So let's scroll down. Come on, calculator, respond. Zoom fit. Sometimes it chooses a nice window where we can see both equations. Let's see. And there's the first one. Here's the second one. No, wasn't enough. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. This time it didn't work. So let's go to the window, and I know I need to go further to the right, so I need to make my x maximum bigger, and I need to go further down. I need to make my y minimum smaller. Okay.
So go to window. X maximum is set to 10, so let's maybe make it 20. Okay. And my x max right now is at x minimum. That's what I needed. Is that negative 17? Let's maybe make that negative 30. I don't know if that's going to work. Let's just try it out and see. So first equation again. Second equation. Ooh, do they touch each other? Let's give it a try. Let's see if it touches each other. So if the calculator can see it, it can find the point intersection. Remember that is second trace for the calculate menu. Then I'm going to scroll down to intersect, which is number 5. First curve, just hit enter. Second curve, hit enter. And you can play the guessing game if you want to. I don't want to. I'm just going to hit enter. Let's see if it will find it. Error, no sign change. What this means is that it did not find the solution because it couldn't see it. So actually it looked like the solution was on the screen. It wasn't. So that's actually a good thing for you to see happen. So let's go back to the window settings. Let's make this y maximum bigger. How about we make this time at 30? And the y minimum, let's maybe double that. Let's make it negative 60. That's got to do it. Man, that's got to do the trick. Let's hit graph. See the two lines being graphed. Alright, I hope that's enough. Let's do the same steps again. Second, trace, choose number 5. First curve, second curve, guys. Bam!
There it is. Just found the point of intersection. It is 24, negative 43. So, what? 24, negative 43. So my solution to this system of equations is 24, comma, negative 43. Okay, so that concludes the first video. Next set of videos, we actually do it algebraically and we don't even consider the graph. Okay.